Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Nityasthanandaji. Today I am going to speak on the subject Vivekananda's concept of renunciation and service. As we all know, Swami Vivekananda was a great renouncer, and also he has emphasized so much about service also. The real genuine service to others, service to society, must be backed by spirit of renunciation. Without that spirit of renunciation, service may lead to self-aggrandizement, self-projection, projection of oneself for one's own name and fame and position, power and all such things, for a social status and all that. But with the background of spirit of renunciation, it becomes really a great ideal, a spiritual ideal. It will transform the personality, the idea of service. That is why Swami Vivekananda emphasized the idea of service very much, and at the same time the spirit of renunciation. So he says, our national ideals are renunciation and service. Channelize her in these lines, the rest will take care of itself. So our national ideal itself is renunciation, service and renunciation, as Swami Vivekananda puts it. It is not only individual ideal, it is a national ideal. Why Swami Vivekananda emphasizes that point? We shall come to that point at the end. Now we shall discuss about what is renunciation according to Swami Vivekananda, what is service according to Swami Vivekananda. There are two things are there, two aspects of renunciation is there. One is Tyaga and Vairagya. Tyaga and Vairagya. Tyaga in general refers to the external renunciation. External renunciation means renunciation of hearth and home, money, power, position, all the external enjoyment, sense enjoyment and all that. So external, that is external renunciation. That is called Tyaga. In a technical sense, of course. Of course, this Tyaga, word Tyaga is used in a general sense also. Vairagya means internal renunciation. That internal attachment also should not be there. One is Bahistyaga, another is Antastyaga. Shankaracharya in Vivekachudamani he says, Antastyago Bahistyago Viraktasyeva yujjate. Antastyaga and Bahistyaga, both. Antastyaga means renunciation, what he says, and Bahistu Vishayi Sangam. Bahistu Vishayi Sangam. Andre, that means, Bahistyaga means not having any association with the external objects of senses. That is Bahistyaga. Antastyaga he means, Antastyagam ahamati bihi. There is ahamati means there is aham is there, ahankara is there. Raga, dvesha, etc. are there in the mind. We have to dissociate ourselves from that also. We have to renounce that also. The internal renunciation means internal attachment also should not be there to the object of the senses, external world, external objects. So Bahistyaga means renouncing everything. Okay, I don't want it, all these things. I renounce it. Renounce the sense objects. Renounce all the objects outside. But there could be some kind of internal attraction for the Vishya, Indriya Vishyas, object of the senses. That also used to be renounced. That is called Antastyaga. So these two refer to the Tyaga and Vairagya. So what Swami Vivekananda means by renunciation? He says, according to him, renunciation is the basis of society, he says. No society can strive without the spirit of renunciation. And he says, self-sacrifice indeed is the basis of civilization. The civilization happened. The progress of civilization depends upon the spirit of renunciation. Without that spirit of renunciation, even civilization also is not possible. There must be a spirit of renunciation. For example, he says, I quote his own words. The formation of society, the institution of marriage, the love of children, our good works, morality and ethics are all different forms of renunciation. All our lives in every society are subjection of the will, the thirst, the desire. So that means whole society depends upon renunciation, spirit of renunciation. Society, family life means it depends upon the renunciation. Each has to renounce. There must be real sacrifice, self-sacrifice must be there. For example, we have to build an institution. How to build an institution? Many individuals come forward to build an institution, renouncing something of their own, contributing their knowledge, contributing their money, renouncing their money, renouncing their time also. Time also they have to contribute. Renounce their time also. Personal time also you have to contribute. They have to contribute. And effort also. You have to put so much of effort. The shramadana must be there. Shrama also must be there. So that is also a tyaga. So after renunciation of so many things, the many individuals come forward to build an institution. And that institution also will run on the basis of the renunciation. If everybody wants to assert himself, my own opinions must be followed. My own will is to be followed. Everything must happen according to my own decision, my own will. If everybody asserts like that, no institution can survive. It will collapse. The family also like that. Every institution is like that. The whole society is depends. See, he says, formation of society. The formation of society means all different kinds of institutions in the society. And institution of marriage, he says, institution of marriage also is based on sacrifice, the renunciation. So, there is no social organizations or social forms without the spirit of renunciation as a basis of it. Swamiji gives one beautiful example, where theatre is there, the drama is going on. At that time cinema was not there. When Swamiji spoke, the drama was going on. Suddenly what happens, there will be a fire accident within the theatre. So immediately what happens, all the people rush to the exit. Normally exit would be very narrow. They all rush to the exit to save themselves. And what happens? Because many people could not come out because it get jammed. Because of the exit get jammed. Many people, stampede also happens. Because of that many may die. And many could not escape. Many will become victim to the fire. So he says, instead of that, if everybody thinks, let us all be escaped from the fire. Let us go slowly, one by one. Then what happened? What would happen? Everybody escaped. Would have escaped. So this is sacrifice. This is tyaga. This kind of spirit of renunciation must be there. On the basis of that only society is running. Because so many people are, even though there is so much of selfishness and self-centeredness and all that, in spite of that, things are going on, society is going on, Because of the spirit of renunciation. Everybody has got it. Somehow or the other, in some form or other, it is there. So, because of this only, the renunciation is the basis of society according to Swami Vivekananda. The progress of civilization depends upon the mutual cooperation. This is the latest scientific discovery. Earlier, the evolution happens because of the competition, you used to say. Competition, the survival of the fittest is the basis of the evolution, they used to say. In contrast to that, Swami Vivekananda says, it is not competition, it is the cooperation. Because of the cooperation only civilization happened. The progress of civilization, progress of evolution, progress of everything. For example, other day, ISRO scientists launched that Chandrayana 3 very successfully. Is it because of the competition? So many scientists sacrificed. Because of the cooperation, sacrifice and renunciation, this success happened. So everywhere we say the evolution becomes possible only with the help of the cooperation. Cooperation means there must be some kind of sacrifice. The renunciation must be there. Spirit of renunciation must be there. So this is a very important point to be noted. One evolutionist, Martin A. Novak, he says in one particular magazine, Scientific American, in that magazine I read this particular passage. My work indicates that instead of opposing competition, cooperation has operated alongside it from a get-to-go to shape the evolution of life on earth from the first cell to Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens is present human evolution. From the first cell to the Homo sapien, evolution took place. From the beginning onward, it is all because of the cooperation, this kind of evolution took place, according to him. Life is therefore not just a struggle for survival, it is also, one might say, a snuggle for survival. Snuggle for survival. Snuggle means coming together, getting together. That is, because of that, that is cooperation. Because of that, because of the cooperation, the evolution happened. The progress of civilization took place. All this progress in civilization, culture, everything depends upon the cooperation. According to Swamiji, Swamiji said this more than 100 years back, and now it is evolutionists are recommending this one, speaking about the cooperation. So this is how it happens. In another sense, Swami Vivekananda speaks of renunciation in a different way. He gives a very, very interesting interpretation to renunciation. I quote his words. Infinite is trying to express itself in the finite. But there will come a time when it will find that it is impossible. And it will then have to beat a retreat. And this beating a retreat means renunciation, which is the real beginning of religion. This is what Swami Vivekananda says. What does it mean? The infinite is trying to express itself within the finite. What does it mean? Infinite, self is infinite. Our real nature is self. It is infinite. It's not a finite thing, according to our Vedanta. That infinite self is trying to express itself through the finite. Finite means our mind, senses, body, etc. They are all finite things. Our intellect, our mind, our senses, all these things are infinite things. Through the infinite, in the infinite, it is trying to express itself. All our talents and capacities and knowledge and all service, spirit of renunciation, everything is an expression of the self within. It is expressing through the infinite, that is through the senses, through the mind, through the body. It's all through finite things. It is trying to express itself through that. All these talents, all this development of knowledge, everything is the manifestation of the spirit through the senses. For example, Shankaracharya gives a very beautiful example. Nana chidra gatodhirasthiti mahan deepa prabha bhaswaram jnanam yasyatu chakshuradikarana dwara bhi sandati antanbuttu ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ one lamp is there, for example, lamp is there, a bright lamp, and it is covered with a pot with so many holes around it. And what happens, this rays of the lamp will percolate through the holes. It comes out through the holes. So much of light is there within, but we see only a fraction of that light through the holes. So like that, here also, so much of infinite knowledge is there, infinite power is there, infinite talents is there, everything is within, according to Swami Vivekananda. And that is expressing itself through the holes, that is senses, through the mind. It's all different kinds of holes. Through that that means it's only a fraction of what is there within is expressing itself. The Ananda is there, infinite joy is there within. And we are having just a fraction of a drop of that, even not even a drop of it, well, a small fraction of it we are enjoying through the senses, enjoying the vishayas, sense objects. It's only a fraction of it. You just imagine infinite joy is there within. So that means the infinite is trying to express itself through the finite. And the time will come, it finds that it's impossible to do that. It cannot express itself fully. Only a fraction of it can be possible. Fully it cannot express itself. So then what happens? It has to beat a retreat. So that means it's not possible. Let me not try at all. I will go back to myself. The self thinks like that. So that is a beating retreat. That is renunciation, he says. That is renunciation. This beating of the retreat is the beating of the retreat of the self, giving up the attempt to express itself through the finite. That is called renunciation, and this is the real beginning of religion, he says. Only Swamiji could interpret renunciation, spirit of renunciation in this sense, it seems. It's a very beautiful expression. It will be a very beautiful, definition of religion, religion and renunciation and religion, Swami Vivekananda gave. So that means we have to withdraw ourselves. We are identifying ourselves with so many external objects, with our body, senses, so many things, not only through the body, etc., and we are identifying ourselves with the external things also. Many things. We are identified with our money. We are identified with our power, position. So many identifications are there. Withdrawing ourselves from all these identifications. This is called Uparathi. In Sanskrit it is called Uparathi. Coming back to ourselves. Detaching ourselves from all these identifications with the external things. Even the body also, even the mind also. So, withdrawing ourselves from that is renunciation. So, there is a very beautiful definition of Uparathi by Shankaracharya. Bahya analambanam vrittehe yeshoparatirutama. Bahya analambanam vrittehe yeshaha uparatihi uttama. So this is Uparathi, a great Uparathi. It's not ordinary Uparathi. Maha, Uttama Uparathi. This is. What is it? Not to have any kind of dependence on the external things. Mind should not depend upon anything external. Mind must be completely, it must be depend upon itself. I have to depend upon myself. Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham. That is Ashtavakra Samhita says, Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham. Everything depending upon something external is dukkha. Everything depends upon oneself, one's own self, our own inner self is sukha. That is real sukha. This is the definition of sukha and dukkha according to our scriptures. So this is kind of Uparathi is required. So we are identifying ourselves with so many external things. First of all, we are identifying with the external things. Because of the external thing identifications, we get attached to it and we don't want to lose it. Losing it means it is something, losing ourselves. There is a nice story is there. You all know it. I also told earlier many times it seems. One demon was there, and demon's life was not in his own body. It was kept in some bird, and the bird was kept hidden without being known to anybody else except himself, perhaps his own wife or something like that, not beyond that. And the hero of the story comes and fights with the demon and defeats him, but he could not kill him. However much he strikes, he could not. Then how to kill him, how to destroy him? So with great difficulty he comes to know his prana is lying in the bird, and he comes to know about where it's located. And he goes there. It was a deep cave, and he goes inside, and there was a cage was there. He breaks open the cage and takes out the bird and squeezes its throat, and it dies. And immediately demon also dead in the palace. So like that, our prana also lies in something else. It may be in somebody, some person. It may be in the money, or it may be in the power or position. If that goes, I feel I am lost. I am lost. So that is because of the identification. So we have to withdraw ourselves from all this kind of identification, external identification. That is renunciation. Then only we will be able to experience the real joy within. Otherwise it is all the bondage. Bondage cannot give me, however it may be, if I don't know that I am bound, as long as I am ignorant about my own bondage, then I can enjoy it. The moment I come to know it's all a bondage, then you can't enjoy it. It becomes a bondage. So that is why Swami Vivekananda says, you have to withdraw all our identification with the external things. That is renunciation. You may have everything. You may have your house, wife, children, everything. But you must have that kind of spirit of renunciation. No identification with them. You must know they don't belong to me. I don't belong to them. So that is in that spirit, you have to, just like Swami Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of the maid servant working in the rich man's house. Like that, one has to remain in the samsara, in the world, in the family life. So that is renunciation. You may not externally, you may not have to renounce everything, but within that antastyaga must be there. Antastyaga must be there. With that spirit of renunciation, one has to work according to Swami Vivekananda. So withdrawing ourselves from all kinds of identification with the external things is most important. That is according to Swami Vivekananda. That is one kind of renunciation. What happens, normally we want to remain in somebody else's mind. That means I expect somebody must praise me. Somebody must praise me. Somebody must remember me. Always remember me. That means I don't want to remain with myself. I want to remain in somebody else's mind. So because of that, so much of problems arises. You want to expect somebody to praise. It's a begging attitude. You are all beggars in that sense. I beg, please praise me. I may not express myself in the words, but there will be attitude will be there. That kind of attitude will be there. So that's why, because of that, we suffer. Many times we suffer because of that. So identification also means our attempt to remain in somebody else's mind. It is called self-alienation. So that is because of that, we don't want to remain with ourselves. Apanate apni theko man Jevuna ko karo ghore. Famous Bengali song is there. Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of it. So, your mind, you remain within your own house. Don't go to somebody else's house. But we want to go to somebody else's house to remain there. So, because of that, what happens? So many problems were created. Because one story is there, the story of a Brahmin and thief. I must have told earlier. Anyway, one Brahmin Pandit was there. Great Pandit he was. And the king of that locality wanted to honor him. One day he invited him to the palace. The Pandit came and so many courtiers were there. It was a big function. In that function, the Pandit was greatly honored, and king presented this bundle of gold coins to him. And all these things was observed by a thief. So when after having all this, honoring, etc., the Pandit came out of the palace, and the thief also made friendship with him. Where are you going? He asked the Pandit. Yes, I am going to this particular place. So I am also going there. So let us go together. Oh yes, okay, let us go together. So they started their journey. So they were walking and going to their respective places, and in a particular place it became evening. They wanted to stay there. In a chow tree they stayed, and after having the dinner, and they wanted to spread their bed etc., and want to sleep. At that time, when they were about to sleep, the thief told Panditji, you go to sleep. I will go for a walk and come back. So Panditji said, okay, I will sleep. So he slept. This thief wanted to go out because wanted to see the favorable condition, whether the condition is favorable to snatch this gold, and run away. So after studying the whole situation outside, and he was very much satisfied, and comes back and found the Brahmin in deep sleep, sound sleep. He was very happy, very happy. It is right time for me to take out the gold. So he searched for it. Below the bed he searched. It was not to be found. Below the pillow slowly searched. There also it is not there. His bag was kept somewhere else. He searched within the bag. It was not to be found. And his clothes were there. Below that also he searched. It was not there. He was really disappointed, very much disappointed. So he thought, next station I shall try. So he also slept. And very early in the morning, the Brahmin got up, Pandit got up, and he wanted to start his journey before the sunrise. And the thief was still asleep. And he tried to wake him up. And he went, so please get up, let us start our journey. It is getting late, he said. And the thief, in half asleep, he said, blurted out, you go, I will not come at all. He said like that. And Pandit said, I will go, but my bag is there below your pillow. I want to take it out. Please get up a little. So the Pandit was so clever. Instead of hiding his gold below his bed, he hid it below the pillow of the thief's bed itself. Thief searched everywhere except below his own bed. So that is how it happens. We search everywhere. We are interested in so many other things, but not within ourselves. We don't search within ourselves. We search happiness outside, not within ourselves. But happiness is within. So everything is within. So that is how withdrawing ourselves from all identification and coming back to ourselves, remaining established within ourselves, that is renunciation. That is real renunciation. So always our attention is outside, There is one very beautiful statement by Elaine D Butler. Our sense of identity is held hostage to the opinions of others. Our sense of identity is held hostage to the opinions of others. That means we can't have our own self-judgment. We want somebody else to judge me. Somebody else to judge me. Our self-identity, how I am, what I am, self-identity depends upon the opinions of others. If somebody, say, you are a good person, you are a good sadhu, I feel satisfied. Whether I am really good or not, I don't bother. So that is how if others say, okay, you are very good, somebody, some people say, what do you feel about me, whether I am good or not, how advanced I am improving or not. You always depends upon the opinions of others like that. Some people have the habit of asking others to judge themselves. So that means we depend upon the opinions of others for our own personal identification. How I am, what I am. So that is why we have to depend upon, that is why sarvam atmavasham sukham. We have to depend upon ourselves only for everything within ourselves. Because that is why ego is like they say somebody told like this, ego is like a leaky balloon. Ego is like a leaky balloon. That means it's always leaks. You have to blow the air every now and then, again and again, to keep it full. When you blow it, then again afterwards what happens, it leaks. And it's so vulnerable, even the small pinpricks is enough to the ego to get empty. That balloon get empty. Our ego also is like that. Small pinpricks is enough to suffer. Nobody should hurt my ego. So, if the smallest things, some negligence, etc., if somebody neglect me, ignore me, then immediately my ego get hurt. It always requires somebody else to blow the air. That means appreciation. Always I am in need of appreciation. So then only what happens? Ego remains completely full. So that is how what happens we have to depend upon ourselves only, not to depend upon somebody else for our own self-identity, for our own existence. This is how, when we are able to establish ourselves, withdrawing all our identification from the external things, then what happens? We become very strong within. We will not be assailed by so many problems and difficulties outside. We can remain firm. So, this is one thing. Swami Nityasthanandaji used to give one example. Earlier also, many times I told this, that earlier there used to be an ink pot with a heavy bottom. Even though if you shake it, it won't fall. It always remains, even little bit it shakes, again it retains its center of gravity. So like that, one must remain like that. Our center of gravity, Nityasthanandaji says, must be within ourselves, not somewhere else. Many times it happens, my center of gravity is in a money, it may be in a money, it may be in a power, it may be in a particular person, or it may be position or something like that. Because of that, so much of problems arises. I get upset. I get unsettled because of that. If the center of gravity is within myself, I always remain strong, unassailed by external things, external problems and difficulties. So this is, according to Swami Vivekananda, this is called renunciation. When we are established in ourselves, we will be able to see the things objectively. It's something like, in the drama is there, drama is taking place, and I am a spectator. I am only a spectator. I remain a spectator. I am not a part of the drama. So I am able to judge the drama how it is. Each and every part, each and role I will be able to judge how he acted and all that. Because I am not a part of the drama, I am outside the drama. I am only a spectator. So I will be able to judge everything about the drama, every role in the drama, in an objective way. If I am also a part of the drama, I will not be able to do that. So similarly, if I am all the identification, withdrawing myself from all the identification and remain within myself as a spectator of the whole thing, whole universe, whole events that is taking place around me, then I will be able to see the things objectively, judge objectively. Then what happens, how I must serve the society, how I must be able to help the society, help others, in what way I can help, in what way I can render service. All these things is objectively able to do that when I am fully established in myself. So that is why Swami Vivekananda says this renunciation and service always must go together. Without the spirit of renunciation, it is not possible to render a real service to the society. Sometimes, our service becomes disservice. The example of the monkey. The monkey was there. Monkey, it was picking up the fish from the pond and putting on the tree, branches of the tree. And somebody asked the monkey, "Oh, monkey, my dear monkey, what are you doing?" "I am rendering service to the fish." "What kind of service it is?" "See, those fish are drowned in the water. They are dying. They are drowned in the water. I am picking them each and putting them on the tree." So this is called monkey service. Monkey service. It's a service. Sometimes, service becomes disservice. So if I have got an objective outlook, then what happens, it is really a genuine service. I read one particular incident in Dr. Balasubramania's book, that is We the Citizen. He gives one very beautiful examples how the service becomes disservice. He himself and his team went to a particular place in a village, remote village, and found there was no water supply was there, no bore wells were there, and the ladies used to go to the nearby river 1 or 2 kilometers away. River they have to go every evening. They used to go and bring water from the river for their use. So they thought, why not dig a bore well, so that they will not be able to use that water and don't have to go to such a long distance to bring the water. It's so difficult, is it not? So that is why 1 or 2 bore wells they dug. And what happened? And afterwards they don't have to go to the river to bring the water. It was a great service, of course. And after some time, when he went there, he found they were all talking. So earlier we have to go to the river to bring the water. The walking was there, exercise was there, and used to all together and go there and chatting and all these things. It was a great entertainment for us. It was a physical exercise also. That opportunity we have lost, they were telling. So that is how the service also sometimes, disservice. So that is why so many examples can be given on this. So that is why one must be able to have the real understanding of the situation, and for that you must have that objective outlook. How you can serve, how can you help the people. So that is why this kind of spirit of renunciation is necessary. And then the question comes, why we should serve at all? Why we should serve a society? The first thing is, society is a part of our own being. We are not separate from the society. Just like, my body now at present is the part of my personality, whole personality. I take care of my body. It's a part of my personality. I have to take care of it. So similarly, the society also is a part of my being. Because I am inseparable part of the society. And society also inseparable for me. You can't really distinguish between, draw a line and distinguish between my personality and the society, your personality and all that. So we are all inseparably part of the whole humanity. So that is why I have to serve the society, because society must be in a good condition. If the society is in a bad condition, is so corrupt, so poisonous, how can I remain happy in that society? It's not possible. Even if I am good in every respect, healthy in every respect, it affects me. I can't remain healthy and good in that particular society. So I have to take care of the society to make the society good also, free from all kinds of evils. I have to do that. So you should not simply think, I don't have to bother about this society. I remain good, morally good, in every respect I remain good. I don't have to bother. Let the society go to drugs. No, it's not. Somebody very nicely told, the evils in the society are not due to the actions of the evil people, but inactions of the good people. Inactions of the good people. So good people, they are inactive. They don't bother about anything. And ultimately they have to suffer. They don't understand that. So that is why Swami Vivekananda wanted not mere goodness, dynamically good. One must be dynamic, good and dynamic. That dynamism must be there. Without that dynamism, goodness is no good. Goody goodness is no good. So Swami Vivekananda wanted that kind of goodness. So that means one has to strive for the good of the society for one's own good. So Swamiji says, it's not possible to achieve one's own good without at the same time promoting the good of others. This is the thing. This is the truth. I cannot think that I will be only happy, I don't have to bother about. For example, you take one family. So many family members are there. I am also part of the family. I am good in every respect. I am healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy. I don't have any problems at all. But all others are suffering. Somebody is suffering from a depression, somebody is suffering from a heart problem, somebody is suffering from their stomach problems, somebody headaches, so many things, all others are suffering. Even though I don't have any sufferings, can I be happy in that particular surroundings? Seeing the people suffering like that, it's not possible. I can't be so inhuman. It's not possible. Anybody, even the most inhuman people also cannot be happy in that situation. So that is why it affects me. Somehow or the other it affects me. So that is why I must take care of this society as long as I remain within this society. If I am outside the society, if I go to the deep Himalayas and the forest and all that, it's a different thing. But as long as I remain within the society, it is my bounden duty to take care of the society. So that is why service also is a part of my life. It cannot be something different. There is a story of a farmer, a good farmer he was, and cultivate his land very successfully, and every year he used to get a best seed award from the government. And he used to distribute best seeds for the neighboring farmers also for cultivation. And somebody one day asked him, you see, you are getting best seed award every year from the government. You are distributing the best seed for the cultivation to the neighboring farmers also. So in gradually it may happen like this, they may grow the seeds very well and they may get the best seed award, you may lose it. Why do you distribute best seed to them? The farmer told him, you see, I distribute to them the corrupt seeds for cultivation. Just imagine. Then what happens, my seed, seeds of my field also gradually get corrupted because of the cross-pollination. I also suffer. So that is why, for my own self-interest, I have to give best seed to the other farmers for cultivation, he said. So for my own good at least, for my own happiness, for my own well-being, I have to take care of this society. So that is why Swami Vivekananda always said, you are the inseparable part of the society. Individual's life is in the life of the whole. Swamiji's statement it is. Individual's life is in the life of the whole. Individual's happiness is in the happiness of the whole. Apart from the whole, individual cannot be imagined. This is the bedrock on which whole universe is built. The whole and part cannot be separated. I am a part of the whole. I am completely inseparable part of the whole. This is the great philosophy of Ramanuja. So, according to that great philosophy of Ramanuja, God is a whole thing. God is a whole. And everything in this universe are inseparable part of that whole. So, we don't have any real individuality as separate existence at all. We don't have real individuality. For example, Swami Vivekananda says, our body, physical body, is a small small ripples in the ocean of matter. So, that means physically I am inseparable from the whole universe of matter, Prakriti, the Bhautika Prapancha. I am inseparable part of the Bhautika Prapancha, Virat. The mind also is an inseparable part of the universal mind, cosmic mind. I don't have individual mind at all. It is an inseparable part of the cosmic mind. So, my individual self also, Jiva, also inseparable part of the cosmic consciousness, Ishvara. So, on the three levels, I don't have any real individuality at all. Individuality, sense of individuality is a misnomer, according to Swami Vivekananda. So, that is why when we become the part of the whole, then only we will have real individuality. So, that is a different question altogether. So, that is why Swami Vivekananda says, we have to serve the society for one's own good, for one's own existence, because if the society is corrupt, nobody can be happy in that society. So, that is why you must always have the idea, before I leave this world, I must leave a better society. Before giving this body, I must leave a better society behind and leave this body. That is a real, human nature. That's what they say. There was one hotel. In that hotel, the big list of items were there, eatables were there, big list. And below that it is written, you can eat any amount of the dishes you want, any dishes you can want, any amount you can eat. And you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. Who will pay? Your grandson will pay. Your grandson will pay. You don't have to pay. So seeing this one person went to the hotel, because he doesn't have to pay, He ordered so many things. He ate nicely to his fill. And after that he was coming out and they produced the bill before him. Then he blurted out, what is this? I don't have to pay anything. My grandson has to pay, is it not? Why are you giving the bill to me? It is not the bill for what you ate, but It is a bill for your grandfather's grandfather what he ate. Your grandfather's bill, he said. So that is this kind of attitude is not good. I have to now itself I have to see the society is in a good condition. Anyway, this kind of for example, if society is corrupt, the next generation they have to suffer. You don't have to bother about it. Next generation have to have. Why should I bother about it? That kind of attitude is not good. So, for example, in Holy Mother's life, there is a very beautiful example. I also told this many times. In Holy Mother was staying in Jarambati, and many Calcutta devotees go there to pay their obeisance to Holy Mother. And Calcutta devotees, they want always early morning bed tea they want. So, early morning it's difficult to get milk in the village. So when there was one brahmachari was there, Jnana Maharaj, she asked Jnana Maharaj to bring milk from the village, from a milkman. He went there and asked for the milk. And he told the milkman, you see, you have to give a best milk for me without mixing any drop of water. I may pay you more money. Don't bother about it. I may pay more. But you have to give a appata milk. Appata halu kodbeku. Anta heltan. Yes, sir, he said. And he gave milk and he brought. And it was 4 anna for seer, I think. And he gave 8 anna for seer. And he brought the milk. And Holy Mother asked, how much you gave for the seer? He told it 8 anna. What is this you have done? She scolded him. It is a very wrong thing you have done. So for many years, village people, they are all very poor. They are getting milk for 4 annas only. Now you have raised the rate. You have given 8 annas. And what will happen? He will demand the same 8 annas from the others also. They will suffer. They will suffer because of that. And that milkman will not stop mixing the water. He will continue to mix the water and because he gets more money, more money. So that is how, see how much forethought she had. How much of concern for others she had. So we don't bother about what happens in future. We simply, what our immediate purpose is served is enough for us. That kind of attitude ours. So that is why you must have that kind of attitude, social dimension, social outlook must be there. Society should not be disturbed because of my own selfish interest. Society must not be disturbed. Others should not be disturbed for my own fulfillment of my own selfish ends. So this kind of attitude one must have. But different kinds of services are possible. One or two we can discuss now. One is doing our duties properly with moral integrity. This is the greatest service one can render to the society. No other service organization is necessary. You don't have to establish any institutions, schools and colleges and all that. Everybody is duty conscious and he discharges his duties properly, efficiently, with moral integrity. That is the greatest service one can render to society. So this is very important, this kind of doing our duty properly, with efficiency, with full knowledge. Yadeva vidyaya karoti shraddhaya upanishada tadeva viryavattaram bhavati, Upanishad says. Swami Ranganathanji was very fond of this particular passage. Often he quotes in his speeches. Yadeva vidyaya karoti. Vidya means full knowledge. One must have the know-how of what is I am doing. You must acquire that knowledge. Vidyaya. Shraddhaya. With Shraddha one must do it. I must do it properly. With all my attitude, with all my mind, I have to do this. I should not neglect it in any way. I must discharge my duty with all my efficiency, with all my energy, with all my time, with all my mind. That is Shraddha. Shraddhaya. Vidyaya Shraddhaya Upanishada, he says, with insight, with insightful attitude I have to discharge my duty. How it is going to affect a society, how it is going to affect others, how it is going to affect me. This kind of insightful attitude also one must develop. That is called Upanishad, he says. He interprets like that. Ranganathanji. So with this kind of attitude and ideas, if you are able to do this work properly, then it's a great service to this society. We don't have to do anything else. So this is how you have to discharge your duties, live our life like this. That is one aspect. That is one kind of service we can render. Another kind of service is through words of consolation. So many people are suffering so many ways. If you are able to listen to their sufferings and with the words of consolation, then it's a great service to them. Priyavakya pradanena sarve tushyanti jantavaha tasmat tadeva datavyam vachane ka daridrata. There is a famous shloka is there. Priyavakya pradanena, pleasing words, through the pleasing words, even the animals also get pleased. So tasmat tadeva datavyam, you have to give them, give these words to them, words to the people. Vachane ka daridrata, is there any dearth of words? We talk so much, all sorts of nonsense we talk. We waste so much of energy in talking. Why not talk something good, something consoling, something pleasing to others? We help them in overcoming of their suffering. So the words of consolation, rendering the words of consolation, talking lovingly with great concern for their sufferings at all, that itself is a great service. And in all, if it is not possible at all these things is not possible, we may pray. We may pray. We can't help the people to overcome their difficulties. It's not possible. But prayer has got a great effect. We have to pray for others. So, through prayer also, we can render service to others. So, there are different kinds of similar ways of serving the people. We shall continue this next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.